I'ma do it, I gotta get it fast. I've been pushing it since '03. I ain't giving up, man, since the age of 13. I've been writing poetry, and now I spit hip-hop truth on any given beat. So hear what I say, and learn from what I speak. The truth is what comes out of me. It's hard up in the streets. I've been slanging Mary Jane since I was 15. Been at 17, I pushed it up to cocaine, making money. I was living in a fast lane. Got caught slipping, thought I was living large, man. Lost 3 balls, wound up in the negatives. I started thinking, I know there's something better than this.
Alright, hey, how's it going, everybody? So, being it's a new year, starting off a new year, starting off fresh, I really truly believe that I think everyone should start reading Proverbs this month, as to start off the new year, so you can get a new a fresher thought and understanding and more wisdom to bring in your new year, through God. And with the way that the world is going and the times and how they're coming, you know what I mean? Like, I feel that people are straying away farther and farther and farther away from God, and it's not that he's not listening to you, it's just that you're not talking to him. He's here, he hears you all the time. You're just not taking the time to actually talk to him. So don't ever think that God's not listening to you when you're talking. He is. It's just the more you talk to him, the more he's going to respond back to you. It's just like your friend down the road. If you constantly call them, they'll answer the phone. Now, if you don't call your friend all the time, when you do pick up, yeah, they may pick up that one time when you call out of the blue moon, but not all the time they're going to pick up out of the blue moon, because they're not used to constantly hear you. They don't always hear from you, so it's like strange when they see 3 months later, like, oh, what is they calling? Like, why are they calling? Maybe they may pick up and say, like, what you're doing or how's it going, or maybe they're like, you know what I mean? I've already been living my life without them, So it's like that's how people's relationships with God is in these times. And as we are starting this new year, I feel like everyone should start fresh. So I would like to do a series where we read each chapter of the Proverbs for every day for the first month of the year, so everybody can have a little more understanding and knowledge and wisdom from God, through God, from his word. So we're going to start off today with Proverbs chapter 1. The Proverbs of Solomon, the son of David, king of Israel. To know wisdom and instruction, to perceive the words of understanding, to receive the instruction of wisdom, justice, and judgment, and equity, to give subtlety to the simple, to the young man knowledge and discretion. A wise man will hear and will increase learning, and a man of understanding shall attain unto wise counsels. To understand a proverb and the interpretation, the words of the wise and their dark sayings, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. My son, hear the instruction of thy father, and forsake not the law of thy mother. For they shall be an ornament of grace unto thy head, and chains about thy neck. My son, if sinners entice thee, consent thou not. If they say, come with us, let us lay wait for blood. Let us lurk privily for the innocent without cause. Let us swallow them up alive as the grave, and whole as those that go down into the pit. We shall find all precious substance. We shall fill our houses with spoil. Cast in thy lot among us. Let us all have one purse. My son, walk not thou in the way with them. Refrain thy foot from their path. For their feet run to evil, and make haste to the shed blood. Surely in vain the net is spread in the sight of any bird, and they lay wait for their own blood. They lurk privily for their own lives. So are the ways of every one that is greedy of gain, which taketh away the life of their owners thereof. Wisdom crieth without, she uttereth her voice in the streets. She crieth in the chief place of concourse, in the openings of the gates. In the city she uttereth her words, saying, how long, ye simple ones, will ye love simplicity? And the scorners delight in their scorning, and fools hate knowledge. Turn you at my reproof. Behold, I will pour out my spirit unto you. I will make known my words unto you, because I have called, and ye refused. I have stretched out my hand, and no man regarded. But ye have set at naught all my counsel, and would none of my reproof. I also will laugh at your calamity. I will mock when your fear cometh. When your fear cometh as desolation, and your destruction cometh as a whirlwind, when distress and anguish cometh upon you, then shall they call upon me, but I will not answer, but shall seek me early. but they shall not find me. For they have hated knowledge and did not choose the fear of the Lord. They would none of my counsel. They despised all my reproof. Therefore shall they eat of the fruit of their own way, and be filled with their own devices. For the turning away of the simple shall slay them, and the prosperity of the fool shall destroy them. But whoso hearkeneth unto me shall dwell safely, and shall be quiet from fear of evil. I want to just take a time so we can really take in to what is being said here in this chapter. Now, as we see in the beginning and through the first 5 verses of the chapter, I'm going to repeat them and read them so we can break them down a little. The Proverbs of Solomon, the son of David, king of Israel, to know wisdom and instruction, to perceive the words of understanding, to receive the instruction of wisdom, justice, and judgment and equity, to give subtlety to the simple, to the young man knowledge and discretion. A wise man will hear, and a man of understanding shall obtain unto wise counsels. So right here, it's telling you, to want to learn the wisdom, the instruction, the knowledge of our Lord, and to actually obtain it and gather it all in. He's telling you that, you really do have to stop, open yourself and really just listen. You know what I mean? You can't always just speak and speak and speak, because you'll never learn. If you're always speaking, how do you have the time to listen? So even a wise man must be quiet, because when a wise man's quiet and he listens to others, he will become wiser. And one that, does, it says, and a man of understanding. So a man that does listen and have understanding, even if he doesn't know God or know God's wisdom, but he just stops to, because he has understanding, he wants to, let me hear what you believe. Let me hear what you have to say. He will then obtain instruction from the wise counsel. So he too will then become wiser, even though he may not know or believe in God. So now we'll do 6 to 12. To understand a proverb and their interpretation, the words of the wise and their dark sayings, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. But fools despise wisdom and instruction. My son, hear the instruction of thy father, and forsake not the law of thy mother. For they shall be an ornament of grace unto thy head, and chains about thy neck. My son, if sinners entice thee, consent thou not. If they say, come with us, let us lay wait for blood. Let us lurk privily for the innocent without cause. Let us swallow them up alive as the grave, and whole as those that go down into the pit. We shall find all precious substance. We shall fill our houses with spoil. Cast in thy lot among us. Let us all have one purse. My son, walk not thou in the way with them. Refrain thy foot from their path. For their feet run to evil, and make haste to shed blood. And I did kind of stretch it out, and I went from 6 to verse 16, just so it would make sense and we could take that piece and actually understand it instead of cutting it short. So he's saying, to understand any of these proverbs, and the interpretation of the words from his wisdom, you must have fear of the Lord. You must fear the Lord. And although our Lord, he does teach love and forgiveness and, and caring, he is of that. But he is of wrath and correction, and it's just like I always tell people, it's like, your parents, as you're growing up, there's one of your parents or maybe both of your parents that will correct you, that will, spank you or whatever if you do wrong, and there's times you did stuff and you didn't, you knew you were going to get in trouble from your parents. So what did you do? You feared them. You were scared. You knew that correction was coming. That too is what God expects of you. He expects you to fear him and understand that he will correct you when you stray away or do wrong. But it's not just of anger. It's of love. It's correction of love. Because he loves you so much, he doesn't want you to stray away from him. He doesn't want you to go into lurk with the evil and sit among the sinners. He wants you to stay away from them. So yes, he's going to correct you. He's going to, make hardships come upon you because you decide to just go and do things on your own, and we can't. You know what I mean? You need the fear of the Lord to keep you with him, because if you do fear him, then you will truly understand. You will I will not want to make him upset or angry. So you will not stray away. You will stick by his side, and you will understand that it is of love, though, and he does care you, because he will show you all his love, when you do have that fear, because you'll never do wrong by him. So all he can do is give you love. You know what I mean? There's no correction to give you, because you don't do wrong, because you fear him. So that is what he expects. That is what he wants. He needs you to have the fear, so you are always corrected. You don't need to be corrected. You are already corrected because you fear him. So that's what he wants you to understand. And I know we tend to forget that, and we preach nowadays of the love and forgiveness, and that's all we really teach these days, is just the love and forgiveness. But we never teach about the correction and the wrath, and we want to forget about that in the past. But that is truth as well. The Old Testament does come back into the New Testament, and the New Testament is in the Old Testament. They both need each other, and it just goes back to the parenting, like, of the world. Like I say, your mother, your father will correct you, but they do it of love, because they love their child. They don't want to see harm come to them. So God is the same. He is the Father. There's only one Father, and that is him. Everybody else, we have dads. We don't have that's the only Father. So he's going to correct us. He is going to make sure we stay with him. So that's one thing people really need to understand these days is, don't get stuck on just the love and forgiveness that our Father offers, because you may stray away because you're too worried about, like, it's okay, he loves me, he'll forgive me, I will do this, and it's okay. But that's not how it works, because you can't just live your life how you want to, and then I guess when the time comes, or on your deathbed, you think I could just say sorry and it's okay. It doesn't work like that, but we'll tap more into that. So let's just keep moving forward. So it says, my son, hear the instructions of thy father, and forsake not the law of thy mother. For they shall be an ornament of grace unto thy head, and chains about thy neck. My son, if sinners entice thee, consent thou not. If they say, come with us, let us wait for blood. Let us lurk privily for the innocent without cause. Let us swallow them up alive as the grave, and whole as those that go down into the pit. We shall find all precious substance. We shall fill our houses with spoil. Cast in thy lot among us. Let us all have one purse. My son, walk not thou in the way with them. Refrain thy foot from their path. For their feet run to evil, and make haste to shed blood. Surely in the vain the net is spread in the sight of any bird. And they lay wait for their own blood. They lurk privily for their own lives. So are the ways of every one that is greedy of gain, which taketh away the life of the owners thereof. Wisdom crieth without. She uttereth her voice in the streets. She crieth in the chief place of concourse, in the openings of the gate. In the city she uttereth her word, saying, how long, ye simple ones, will ye love simplicity? And the scorners delight in their scorning, and fools hate knowledge. Turn you at my reproof. Behold, I will pour out my spirit unto you. I will make known my words unto you. Because I have called, and ye refused. I have stretched out my hand, and no man regarded. But ye have set at naught all my counsel, and would none of my reproof. I also will laugh at your calamity. I will mock when your fear cometh. When your fear cometh as desolation, and your destruction cometh as a whirlwind, when distress and anguish cometh upon you, then shall they call upon me, but I will not answer. They shall seek me early, but they shall not find me. For they that hated knowledge, and did not choose the fear of the Lord, they would none of my counsel. They despised all my reproof. Therefore shall eat of the fruit of their own way, and be filled with their own devices. For the turning away of the simple shall slay them, and the prosperity of fools shall destroy them. But whoso hearkeneth unto me shall dwell safely, and shall be quiet from fear of evil. So that's the whole chapter right there. And so I'm going to break the rest of all that down into so you guys can understand. So what he's saying there in this chapter, is, do not listen to the ones that are talking the foolishness, the ones that are telling you to let's go do this. Oh, it's okay, don't worry about it. But true down inside, in your morals, in your heart, in your gut intuition, that is wrong, and you shouldn't be doing it. So don't put yourself around those people. Yeah, some of them may be your friends from years and years, but you know what? Sometimes you have to do away with things. You have to do away to do better. And what way to not? What better way to do it than to do it today? The first of a new year. Start fresh. So do away with people that make you do things that deep down inside is wrong, or you shouldn't be doing, or it upsets your mother or your father, or maybe if you do know God, and you are, his words, the things you do maybe upsets him. Do away with them, because by you still putting yourself in that situation, you're still doing sin. And he's telling us in this chapter that if you keep doing sin knowing that you shouldn't be, when the time comes, he's going to say he doesn't know you. He doesn't know who you are, because although you think you knew him, you weren't doing everything he was telling you. You weren't understanding the teachings and the wisdom. So that's why, like I say, don't be quick to shut out other people and their religions. Don't be quick to say, oh, if you are a Christian, don't be quick to say, oh, Muslims are wrong, or Judaism is wrong, or Buddhism is wrong, or anything else that is out there. Don't be quick to just shun them, because he says, be understanding, listen, because there may be something that you take in from that religion, although you don't believe the religion, but it makes sense. It is more wisdom. It is more knowledge. It is more understanding. So don't be a fool and just be quick to say, no, I'm not listening to you. You're not going to turn my ears away from what I already know, and don't be a fool that doesn't know and say, well, I don't know and I don't want to hear. I don't want to learn. Don't be that fool, because as bad as it's to say, most people in this world will wait till they're on their deathbed to cry out to God. They will wait till it is too late, and they will sit there and they will beg, please, God, forgive me for all I have done. And God's going to turn his back away from all of you. He's not going to know you. And it's sad, because you people you guys just don't understand that. Don't just run around living your life and getting stuck in this world. Yes, do what you need to do. Don't waste time. Don't have idle hands. You have to survive in this world and work and make money. We all know that, but don't just get stuck in the way of the world. Don't just get stuck trying to make money and provide and obtain everything that you can, because you will be lost. And when you get to that point where you're on your deathbed, I truly hope you are not one of the ones that he says, I do not know you, turn away from me. I truly hope that's not one of you guys. So I pray and I ask that you guys do understand that you really, this is the time. It's the time. And if you had something, a piece of you that, you wanted to, but maybe it's the people around you that you don't want to, continue on or try and dig deeper, forget those people. Let them go. Do away with them. Start fresh. Start new, because if they're going to make you walk away from God, well, they're going to be the cause of your death. They're going to be the ones that cause you for God to walk away from you. And don't let somebody else determine your outcome at the end of times. Don't let somebody else decide what your faith is. You decide your own faith. Choose for yourself. So I like to just look up to the sky. I like to just tell God, thank you. Thank you for another day of living, another day of breathing, another day on this earth. And I ask that whoever may see this video, they may understand what you're trying to say through me to them. And I understand that I hope that you work with them, Father, and you do touch their hearts, and you start putting that ball of fire in there to awaken them from inside. And I pray that they do come to you, Father, and they do ask more questions, and I pray that nobody is quick to turn them away, although they may ask lots of questions. I pray that somebody will stick with them, and I pray that you give me the strength to stick with anybody that may come towards me and ask me more because they want to know more. And I pray that I speak nothing but your words, Father, and only for you and nobody else, not for myself, not for no man or nobody of the enemy or anything, just but for you, Father. I pray that you allow me to be your vessel and you use me how you will. And I pray that somebody hears this and it really helps them and they come to you, Father. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Well, I hope you guys do really great. I hope you guys I hope this really did touch somebody and somebody did it sparked something in there, and I will be praying for you. And if you want, you can contact me, you can message me, you can whatever you feel, if you need to reach out, you need somebody to just listen to you, or you want to ask questions and you want to learn, don't be afraid. do not be afraid. Come, I am here. I will talk. I will listen. You know what I mean? Whatever it may be. So God bless. I hope everyone has a great new year. I hope today was a great day for you. It was a beautiful day for me. It was beautiful out. God allowed us to, start fresh. So, I hope it's a good new year for you guys, and you guys have a great year, and God bless. Take care.
So I sat down and prayed to the good Lord. I told him I want better, so please open up a good door. I know I can't just get it, I know I gotta earn it. But dear Lord, I know you see I really want it. So I've been trying to do right by you, but it's hard, I know it, cause the devil keeps pulling down on me. I gotta be stronger within, I'ma never give up, but I gotta put these sins. I'm only live once, so Lord, will you please forgive? I won't live for the day, but I live for the year. I wanna be in the clip before it's too late, cause in the end I'm hoping I'm standing in the front of your gates.